All right.
I have to link the audio.
All right. Lights, camera, action.
Boom.
All right.
We're set.
Clapping, yeah. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Yeah.
Really good. Excited to be here. Supporting my godson, my nephew, and his new venture here, podcast. Proud of you. Proud of you, Jose Noel, also doing this.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, no, this is
Exciting.
in the comfort of his home, and I appreciate that. Yeah, he's put a lot of work into making our studio. You know, it's been
Yeah.
We put the word.
well, we put work, yeah, but yeah, no, thank you, dude, for making this happen. You know, like we have a nice little spot where we can record this and do our podcast.
Yeah, it's always nothing but a good time for me, honestly. We just hang out. Right now, it's Saturday morning. We drink a coffee, right? If I had the man, the one my dad always drinks. My dad drinks this alcohol that he gets in El Colorado. It's what is it, like that 99% alcohol?
Not mezcal?
No. It's that like vienen
Okay, alcohol.
they sell in litros, right?
Yeah, it's like in that plastic container, right?
Yeah, that little dangerous plastic container. But I gotta say, he puts some in the coffee, and it tastes so damn good.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I'm like, man, if I had it, I'd probably get kicked out of work.
I know
Is
which
it
alcohol
is
you're
it the
talking
same
about.
one that they put in the pajarete?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
same
yeah.
alcohol,
The same
grain
one.
alcohol, yeah.
It's like rum. I don't think it's grain.
Oh,
think
it's rum?
I think it's from sugarcane. So it might be similar to a rum.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
But let
damn, I
me
don't know.
first comment on you guys. This looks great. Proud
Oh,
of you,
thank you.
Jose Noel, what you've done, Hector Antonio, what you've done. It looks great. I like the setup you have here. You know, maybe I could give you some feedback. We're just gonna change it all, rearrange it. No, no,
It's like it sucks.
looks great.
Throw everything away. The colors
No,
are
not
stupid.
at all. It's perfect. It's perfect. Love it. Love it.
But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
This is the
Very
Gordon
professional.
Ramsay of the Godinez, boy.
the critiquing, right?
It's hard critiquing, but it's good.
Oh man.
Hey,
I don't
you
know what
always
I
need
work
people like that, though, man. You need the constructive criticism
to
at
be
all times, I
on
think.
pure honesty, yeah.
That is very difficult, you know, because the easiest thing, like if you have you know, especially with family or even friends, with people that you love, the easiest thing is not to do anything, even though he's fucking up,
Yeah.
you know. But it's your opinion, from your perspective. Oh man, this guy is messing up. Pardon my French. I probably shouldn't. That's French, by the way. I'm very fluent in French, as you can tell.
Hell yeah.
So, but you know, the easiest thing you can do is not say anything, because you could just say it's not my problem. Let them figure it out, because there's a risk if you go ahead and make a comment to someone that doesn't want your opinion. Probably, it could go very well. It could not work out.
Yeah.
But I agree that sometimes you know, some criticism might be good. I wouldn't necessarily call it criticism, but just some feedback.
Yeah.
Mi papá tiene un dicho que dice, y mamá, el zorro no se ve la cola. And that's because, you know, really, you're just, when are you going to turn around and look at your tail?
Yeah.
Somebody has to tell you, hey, zorro, traes mierda en la cola. Otherwise, he's not going to look.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think we all have that problem because we're all older brothers here, right? So with my younger brother.
Speak for yourself. I'm
Yeah.
the youngest, better look.
Oh damn!
Youngest, better looking.
You're younger in
Godinez.
physicality, but you older, man.
I guess truth is out. Yeah.
It's an honor, and it's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like with my brother, like sometimes, you know, like I wish I could just tell him something, but it's like you said, it's like you're working on detonating a bomb. You know, it might go good or it might explode on you.
Oh, almost like you're trying to defuse a bomb,
You're
right?
trying
Like,
to, you're
gotta-
trying to defuse the bomb. Oh yeah, detonating is exploding.
Yeah.
Freudian
Well,
slip.
yeah, I guess
You
it
could
works that way
detonate
too.
it, yeah.
Freudian slip.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, defusing a bomb, and yeah, man, you never know what outcome you're gonna get, and you don't even know how to say it or the right words to say it. So a lot of times I learned, like, you know what, I'm just not gonna say it, but I think that's me just not finding a way to interact with him better and kind of finding a better way to communicate with him. And that's like just people skills, I think, that you just kind of have to learn to
And
master.
It's hard, man, because I noticed it with Emilio. Like even last night, when I introduced him to somebody, he's like, "Come on, dude! Like, how are you gonna just say like, oh, this is my brother?" Like, I'm not big on like, I'm really awkward when it comes to introducing. Even it could be my wife, it could be my dad. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is my dad or this is my mom. I'm not like, oh, grand presentation. This is my
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
And Emilio is very charismatic, and he's like, oh yeah, this is my brother. I'm not like that. I'm kind of like, like whatever, like chill. But I think sometimes people might take offense to that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you introduced him yesterday. Like, you just said, like, this is my brother Emilio, or
Yeah,
like,
this is my brother. Like,
this is my sister Natalia.
yeah, but I guess maybe the tone, or that I wasn't in excitement, or like I didn't
That's
say it
hard.
like, oh, this is
Well,
my-"
depends. Who did you introduce him to? Were you wingmanning him or something? Or
No.
Oh, if
It's
you're
like
a wingman.
another
You gotta be
guy,
like,
yeah.
hey man, this guy, biggest one in the region. A little 12-incher right here, man. This is the guy. That's probably what he wanted, man.
But no, I think dude, with siblings, there's always gonna be little things that they get annoyed or we get upset at each other about. But
Well, like Tony, this goes back to like the older person, the wiser person, that gives advice to the younger. Like
he's talking smack.
no.
I'm messing with
Again
you.
with the older.
Oh no. Hey man, it's a gift, man. You made it that far, man.
Please allow me to give you some feedback.
Yeah. Well, like in all honesty, Tony would always tell us like, "Hey, man, go to school. Don't fuck off." And I should have listened. I fucked off a lot. I didn't go to school. Now I'm not saying like I'm not happy where I'm at or I regret anything, but like I do wish I was like, man, I probably should have listened to Tony this whole time. And you always said it, and you always like meant what you said, and I just couldn't. I couldn't take it as advice. I would just be like, I don't want to go to school, Honestly, I'm telling you the truth.
I get it.
But
understand.
but now that I'm older, now that I'm like doing whatever work I'm doing, it's like I'm like, man, like I get it now. Like it all makes sense because you could be this guy or you could be that guy. You know what I mean? And this guy's doing something a lot better, and this guy, he might be struggling more. So there's a beauty in everything, right? But at the same time, like sometimes there's someone giving you that advice, someone giving you that path, that road, and you're a little naive sometimes, and you don't really listen to it. You just end up doing what you want to do, and then you learn on your own, I guess. Versus listening to someone that's wiser, that did it already, and he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So I guess what I want to say is I wish I would have listened to you.
It's okay that you didn't, because at least you did what you wanted to do. You did the best that you can, and I think you've done very well. School is not for everybody. School is
Yeah.
not for everybody.
Nope.
And considering, that you have the options, you chose not to take them. You've done very well, because things could have turned out differently for you. And I gotta say, I'm proud of what you've done.
Oh, thank you.
And I always advise everybody to go to school, but I also had to recognize that that's not. Later, it didn't take me to, my life experience, my experience that I had to live through to see that you don't have to go to school to do well. You don't have to go to college. That's something that I wanted to do, but that's because, I saw what I grew up on, and I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I'm glad that I did. And I knew that for me, based on the opportunities that I had around me at that time, I believe that I would have better opportunities going to school. And that's why I know that for me it did, and for the people that I love, at least my advice was genuine.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
And like I would tell everybody, and I tell my kids, go to school, have that degree on what you want to do, and then if you don't like it, at least you did it, because going to school gives you an experience faster than you have to live through. That's why they call it university. You go to a 4-year university, you're gonna get 4 years of universal knowledge that would hopefully help you find yourself. But I know people that didn't have to go to school to find themselves.
Yeah.
They knew from the get, that they were what they wanted to do.
They knew what they wanted to do, and this is I think it's a fact. At least the last time that I looked it up, most millionaires, billionaires didn't graduate college. But they might have had already opportunities. They had the means of achieving wealth. A lot of them already did. Some of the self-millionaires, they made themselves millionaires, but they had some opportunities around them. Just to wrap this up, I think that getting a college education will give you the ability to prepare yourself faster and look and open doors of other opportunities. And if there's something that you like, if you like math, what can you really do with math and science without going to school? You're not going to advance.
Yeah.
You might be doing something, but you're not going to advance. But there are other skills. If you're mechanically savvy, you have to go to school to do very well.
Yeah, that's why I think sometimes people do make the mistake of signing up to a 4-year college and not really knowing what they want to do. And that's where it's like it can be a big mistake and going into that debt. That's why I think it should be encouraged for people to start a community college, pay for their courses, right. And I know it's less of a financial burden. And then you kind of figure out, okay, maybe I suck at school, I'm not going to do this, or you know what, I like this field and I'm going to go that route and then go to the university for my last 2 years. I think, shit, man, I had a great experience in college, so I don't regret doing the 4 years that I did. I can't say I regret it at all because it was fun, it was stressful, doing like science classes and all that crap. But yeah, I don't regret it at all. As much as whatever debt I'm in, I'm like 38 grand in debt, but
well,
yeah. Wait, how many?
38, I want to think.
That's not bad.
And now some people are in the hundreds.
Yeah, I'm in the hundreds. I didn't go to school. Everyone puts themselves in debt at some point.
Yeah.
You choose your poison.
But hey, we're gonna die eventually. What's that gonna be?
This applies to both of you guys. You know, you are successful. You are where you are because you have been tenacious at what you try to do. Like skateboarding. How many times did you fall to learn how to do the alley? But you stood with it. You know, you're like, oh, and how many wipeouts did you do before you learned how to do a kickflip? But you stayed with it. So I respect skaters. I'm like, anybody that's a skater shows commitment that you're gonna learn a trick. You're willing to go through some pain to master the trick.
Oh, that's some psychopath type of shit.
Yeah,
because
daredevil shit right there.
Like, because you're so stuck on that one trick. Like, you know, when you're learning the ollie or when you were doing like the 180s.
Yeah.
And
I was barely getting the hang of it.
And jumping onto stuff. Like, you get so obsessed, and it's just like repetition. But that's like with anything. If you put your mind to it and you put the effort, I can show you scars that I still have from when I was skating. But you know, it's that kind of commitment that it takes to go through life. Whether you apply that in school or you apply it to what you do outside of school, and being the best that you can be. Yeah, no, that's completely true. It's funny. I wiped out recently. I went skating at night. I want to say 2 days ago, and I was flowing, you know. And then there's times where I'm skating and I'm like, damn, I haven't fallen. It's a good session. And that night I'm skating and I rolled in. I thought the parking lot was like a nice parking lot, but it was at night, so I couldn't see well. So the moment I rolled into the parking lot, there was a crack, and I fell, boom, and I got a nice bump on my elbow here. But I gotta say, did you watch this video? It says that the best success comes from failure. Because that's like the ultimate, you know, creator of success, right? Your failure. If you learn from it. But you don't fail. Yeah, if you learn from it. You don't fail if you're not trying. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So like when I think about it, like all the times I fell, there was some sense of glory in that. Like, I'm gonna come back harder. I'm gonna learn why I did it wrong, and then I'm gonna do it again. And yeah, dude, when you finally get it, you're like, fuck yeah, you know, like it meant something. Like you learned something from, you know, in reference to skateboarding, like your foot placement. So what I do is I fuck up and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna try my. This guy speaks some good French. Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. He's a professional. Yeah, man, I'm getting some free lessons here. Hey man, I thought I was good. Professional bullshitter, guys. I told Hector, I was like, dude, when you don't call me in an interview, man, I'll come out of there a scholar, dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could do this, I could do that, man. You know, I could do all this. But I think that matters, though, you know, like knowing how to sell yourself, I guess. Not sexually, but that's all. Depends the business you're in. You looked at me a little funny, Tony. No.
Not my type. Wrong equipment. Wrong equipment.
No, you're like, man, what's wrong with this guy? No, but no, yeah, I really do. Like I said, the way you apply yourself, I guess, your demeanor, the way you speak. Now, sometimes you might fuck some shit up, you know.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of just sound confident in everything you do, especially with you, right? Like with your job, with your profession. That's something where like you sound unsure. Man, whoever's doing the job, man, they're not gonna feel too happy doing it. They're gonna be like, oh fuck, well, he didn't sound too sure about that, you know. But you're like, hey, man, go do that. Like the person, like, yes, sir, you know, boom, straight to it. But can you tell us more like about what you do, or when you went to college or university, like what did you end up doing? Cause like we had this guest early on in the podcast, and he had mentioned that he went to college or university, and he said that a lot of the times he feels like going to university was maybe not the best choice, but from you we're getting the total opposite, and you have all the evidence to back it up. You've been very successful, thank God, you know. Like what?
Thank God, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it takes a lot from you, you know, your effort, your determination. Is there certain things you should go to university for, or like, is it just a hit and miss with everybody, with anything?
Well, I think that like you don't. I could tell that at least for you, you don't have to go to school to learn French because you are fluent in the French, and so am I. You know, you and I have like a PhD in French. But you know, as far as going to school, you know, getting like a university degree, if there's something that you like, that like especially the obvious choices, if you like math and you like science, definitely go to that. If there's something that you like, if you like psychology, if you're curious with how the mind works, you know, definitely go to school. If you like cooking, you know, definitely go to school, because you could go to chef school. You could go into chemistry and really evolve the art of cooking in forms that sometimes as everyday cooks we don't realize. But you know, chemistry is I'm gonna be off of an attention here, and the reason why I'm saying chemistry is because if I would have known what a chemical engineer does, I would have gone into chemistry, because I like science, I like math, and there are other fields out there that we don't know because we grew up poor. We grew up with people that were not educated, that didn't know all the opportunities that are out there. Counselors, the schools that we had, maybe didn't have the best counselors, and maybe we didn't explore those options just to do the research and see what else can I go out there. I knew I liked engineering, and I went to a university that didn't offer chemical engineering. But when I went there, I had already decided that I was going to be an electrical engineer. It wasn't until after effect that I learned what a chemical engineer does, and that's stuff with food, and not only food, but you know, just anything with chemicals, paint, processes, materials, chemical engineering. I didn't know about what a chemical engineer does until we had our tequila business, because my uncles, that's what they did. So they develop products. So I will always advise people to go to school and get a college degree, unless it's too hard. If it's going to be painful, then try something else. I didn't graduate college until I was 30 years old. And it took me years before I could say that and not cry, because, man, I had it. It was really hard for me. It was really hard for me. I moved out from a house when I was 16 years old. I slept in the floor with you know, other guys that were other kids that had run away from school, with one of our friends who used to be a cholo in San Diego, a gangbanger as gangbanger can be, and as gangbangers he can be. And he all of a sudden he decided, you know what, I'm gonna do something good instead of doing this bad. And when I used to paint, that's how I met him. And every day I used to, you know, I was depressed at some point too. But I knew that in order to get out of there, going to school was gonna give me that opportunity. I quit day school and I went to night school so I could work full time at McDonald's. And then I would go to night school at 16 years old. And then
I remember I got to see where you went to high school and the McDonald's that you worked at. Yeah.
And I used, and my mode of transportation, what made me happy, thank God that Jesus Christ, El Espíritu Santo word is looking over me and gave me the motivation to do something, and things like would help me get up and go to school. It's like, I'm going to ride my skateboard. When I got my first Power Peralta,
Oh,
that was joy, man. Going to school. So little things like that made it easy for me. And there are some times when school was not easy, but I was tenacious about it. I was persistent. And there were some. Then I graduated from high school. At night school, I went to night school to finish because when I came here to Chicago, I was living with your dad. He was kind enough to open the door to me. That's why I will always be grateful. And I was working. I was going to school during the day, but I didn't have enough credits to graduate during the day. And then I'm like, well, you could graduate I just needed like a couple more courses because I also moved often going to night school, because in night school you didn't have to take like PE. I'm like, no, if I just gotta finish the courses that I actually like, then I'll go to night school. And then so I went to night school and I graduated from night school. And then college, I just stuck with it. Whenever I could take a course, I would take a course. The important thing was that you learn your basics. And I remember one of the first college courses that I took, the teacher said, it was strict. He's like, this is the foundation for what's to come in math. And man, so I memorized it, and then after school I would go to work. I was doing photography on the weekend, and I was working in the mental health center afterwards. So I would have my index cards so I could memorize Pythagorean theorems and all the formulas, and just always, I had a free moment, I would study so I could at least get the basics there. And thank God it worked out for me. College, now you say you have a great memory of college. I'm glad you did, because it is an experience that very few people in the world are able to do. You know how many homecomings I went to school, or how many college games I went to college? Zero, because while my friends were out after school, partying or going to the games and all of that, I had to go to work, or I had to come to Chicago because I had a wedding on the weekend. And so I don't have those fond memories of college, like happy, but it was good. It still was a good experience that I wouldn't change for anything.
no, because it got you to where you are now. So
Got me to where I got at, yeah. And then after college, it doesn't stop there. Like the Army, and I'm quoting the Army here, but I do tell people this. I proudly, everyone that I talk to and I'm trying to encourage to do something, and whatever it is, like, be the best that you can be. And because whatever, and I learned a lot from abuelo, from my dad. No dejes pa mañana lo que puedes hacer hoy. And right now in my job, I'm like, okay, fuck. It's already, I've been here since 5 and it's already 6 p.m. I'm like, oh man, I got all this tomorrow. Fuck.
just get this shit done.
I sit down and I do it because you don't know what tomorrow is going to throw at you, and you want to be ready so that the next day, at least you come in clear, you don't have to worry anything, and you could deal with whatever issues come up. And the same thing with school. I learned that you're going to go, you after you come out of class, the teachers used to tell us, do your homework right now while it's fresh. And I made the mistake of, no, it's Friday, I got to go to work, I'm just going to go to the gym right now or anything else. And then like, God damn it.
Sunday night. No.
Sunday night, what is this? And then you put a lot more effort. So,
Yeah.
So that's, in a nutshell, that's kind of my life in college. It's great. It worked out great, because going to college, going to school, it puts you in a different circle. You travel on a different circle. And if that's your interest, then that's good, because then by me going, like I love psychology, that's why I brought psychology earlier. You hang around in a different circle, you meet different people that share the common interest that you have. And while we might have a lot of interest, we don't have a limited amount of time. So we make choices. Okay, I like psychology more, I got a job there, and that's where I met my wife. So a lot of choices that we make now create the path for us, and every single action that we take, you have many roads and paths that you can take, and that turn that you make that instant is going to take you to another to another intersection in your life, and every action that we make is going to take us to where we're gonna be the next moment.
Yeah, that's why I think is important for people, and I think more newer generations, and I'll include myself in that. Some people have a hard time making those decisions and just jumping. Like, say, like, if I'm working in, say, like when I was working in dental for a long time, and then I just, boom, completely 180 and switched to a different field in the sciences, but completely different to what I was doing, and that took a lot in me to be like, oh fuck, I'm gonna do this. That was completely different, and it changes your career path, I guess. It's the same thing, like, but you have to be open-minded too. Like, you did the mental health thing because psychology interested you, but yeah, it wasn't engineering, so it's completely different to what.
Yeah. And it is different, but it's something that if I would have probably had more time and be able to school, I probably would have pursued that instead. I don't know if I would have been as happy and things would have turned out how they did now. Reason why I decided, you know what, I'm going to go into engineering instead is because I wanted to be a psychiatrist. I wanted to be able to take all the courses and be able to help people at the highest level that I could. And they would be able to do counseling. And I wanted to get the science, the MD, because I did enjoy the chemistry. I did enjoy the biology. I would have enjoyed those courses. But, I do think sometimes, what would my life be if I would have chose that path
route,
instead of this? Who knows? Maybe I would have hated. It.
But do you think about the money, or do you just say, like, because sometimes I feel like I get too caught up in, like, what's gonna make me more money. Now, I kind of have this talk with Hector all the time. Like, dude, I'm like, while you're pursuing whatever you're pursuing, if you can, make the most money you can while you're doing it, if you can. So, like, if I have somewhere I want to be, while I'm on my way there, I'm gonna find any alternative to make more money while I'm doing it.
In the process,
I would want to get the best I can, and obviously I'm willing to put in the footwork, and learn whatever it is I'm doing. And it's like every time that you learn something new, you got to take a shit all over again. You're gonna start from the bottom. You got to prove yourself. You got to earn your respect. You got to earn your reputation. Well, you got to build your reputation.
Gain the skills and knowledge. Yeah.
Exactly. Even if it's something that you're going to do for like a month or a year, 2 years. Like, you always got to try to, like you said, be the best you can be at anything you do. But sometimes, like, I think about it, like, I want to go where the money's at, right? And then is there, like, are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it because you like it? Like, at the same time, I feel like no one really likes to really do what they do at some point. It's always going to be a job, like, you know.
You can get a little jaded. You can get a little, like, what's it called? Yeah, you can get a little tired and fed up sometimes.
Because I'm an artist, right? Like, if it was up to me, I'd rather be a tattoo artist. I'm doing nothing close to being a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
I work in a refinery. You know what I mean? Now, I'm willing to go whatever route in the pursuit of making more money and bettering myself and providing for my family. Like, I think I put past myself the whole, like, doing something I enjoy, and I'm just doing, like, all right, man, whatever is gonna bring more money for my family, or I could do whatever they want to do or whatever they need. I want to be able to provide it for them, I guess. And I'm sacrificing my, I guess in a sense, my happiness or myself for that. Now, I have kind of like been fond of welding since I went in the refineries. I liked it, and I'm trying to pursue that. But, I feel like I'm not limited. Like, whatever happens. I didn't like school back then. I'm going to be honest with you. But now that I got into, the trades and all that, we have courses that require math. And I feel like I like school more now than I did back then. So I feel like there's no real...
You really appreciate it now, yeah.
Yeah, like, I can make more sense of it. Like, like, why this formula's there, why it exists. Like, now I understand, like, how it works in real life, in real time. Like, it actually has a meaning or a purpose. You know what I'm saying? But,
I'll tell you. I'll answer your question.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to make more money, in my opinion. And everything I tell you is just from, it's only my opinion. That's a very personal decision that you have to think about and decide for yourself. But I'll give you my perspective. And nothing wrong to wanting to make more money. Make the best of the time that you can to make more money so you can provide for your family and be well. Because even though money doesn't buy happiness, it helps in some things, you know. But like Einstein said, in this infinite line of time, we're in here but just a little dot. So time is going to continue forever and ever and ever and ever. Infinity. But we are only one little dot. That's it. So I don't want to get up every day just to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. You know, I want to provide to my family. That's why I get up every day at 3:45, and I'm happy to do it. And the next day, I don't have trouble falling to sleep, you know, because I know I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do something that I enjoy. And it's a good job, you know. I like it. I've had jobs that where I did not want to go to work, but I'm not a quitter.
Yeah.
I didn't just quit, and I will advise everybody: don't just quit. You know, give it a good shot. Really give it a good shot. Explore, like, you know, and that's what it sounds like. That's what you're doing. You're at at a place that sounds like it's a good job. You're exploring options that you have there. Explore those options, and if it's not for you, don't just quit. You know, have a plan, and then go that so that you can, you know, go to bed and fall asleep comfortable and wake up the next day. And yeah, it's gonna suck getting up and going to go to work because it's still work. That's why it's work and not play. But at least you'll be happy. And when you're there, make the best of it. And if it's not for you, well then, don't stay there just for the money.
Yeah, exactly. That, you know, you answered my question exactly. Yeah, because I'm telling you, I have these troubles. Like I was telling Hector about like some philosophers I've been looking into. I'm not saying like I'm a scholar. I look into it 100% and do all the research, but you know, from very like brief videos or like little short stories and books, and I'm like, they say like, oh, like find happiness within yourself, not within things you do or from others. You know what I mean? And I guess if I were to interpret that, it'd be like anything you do, you can always find a sense of happiness no matter what you do. You just have to learn to appreciate and live in the moment, you know?
Yeah.
And I try to understand that, dude, and I try to see what that really means, what it's really like, and it's so damn difficult, you know, but that's just like something I'm working on, and it references to work and, you know, like the hobbies we do, like the stuff we do, like what brings happiness, you know, like what is it? Money? Is it having a badass job that pays good as hell, you know, that you don't have to worry about, like, you know, your bills. Your bills are just like, you know,
Whatever.
yeah. And then
Financial stress
yeah,
sucks.
It
Yeah.
does.
Financial stress, I think that it is one of the worst things I went through it, unfortunately. I think a lot of us have. And financial stress sucks. So yeah, I mean, if I have to do a job that I hate, but I have to do it because, you know, I need it to support my family, I will do it.
Yeah, of course.
I will do. That's why I say I'm not a quitter, and I would tell nobody to quit, but just, you know, find something that, with the opportunities they have within you, to do what you like to do. When I worked at McDonald's, it's not a good job, but I became a manager because I did the best that I could.
Yeah.
And when I was a manager, you know, we had fun. Yeah, we, you know, like.
All right, so
Ate all them cheeseburgers.
Be honest. Did you guys ever spit in somebody's burger?
Yeah, do some
Like an asshole? Like, did you ever spit or
some pubic
do
hairs,
some
or-
nasty shit?
This was not in Jacka's movie, okay?
What's it
No,
called?
of course not.
Waiting?
The waiting.
No, not at all. The secret to a good meal is the love that you put into it. Every time I made a Big Mac, I would squeeze it. I would squeeze it down just to exert some of the love into the Big Mac. And you could tell that those people, they really enjoyed the Big Mac. It wasn't the ingredients. It was the love that I put into making
Yeah,
that
you
Big
tuck
Mac.
in that burger like, you know, like a little baby.
No.
Perfectly cut
Yeah.
lettuce and tomatoes.
Yeah, man. Well, I gotta say, man, I feel like I mean, maybe his locations matter. I don't know, but I feel like McDonald's, man, the McDonald's right here by my house, it sucks ass. The
That's because they don't put the love into making the
no,
burger.
they put no love into that.
That's
That's a quickie, man. You know, just
Yeah.
boom. And man, like they don't even put the ketchup in. Like you be telling, hey, can you put this and that? Man, they don't
No.
give you nothing, man. They just don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah,
But like
no,
I think like you said, my French. I do think like what you said is that you should do the best you can at everything because it tells, man. Even with a freaking fast food restaurant, you do a shitty job, that burger's gonna say it all. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. Any food, you know when it was made like too rushed or like with not enough attention. Yeah.
Dude, and I'm like
Yeah.
that with Subway, dude. Like Subway is, I feel like, dude, like I need my sub a certain way.
This guy loves Subway.
they might as
I
well
love-
just let you make it yourself. You already telling them, but if they're not putting the love
Oh
and
yeah.
care into the sandwich, so when my good friend told me this, and that's when I realized that what you put into the food is what you're gonna enjoy. Because what's more, almost like more, not necessarily more intimate, but what really gets into us is the food, right?
Hell yeah.
And he tells me that his grandmother used to make the best tortas ever. The best tortas. Those tortas were so good that he would, like make business transactions while he's in school in Mexico with his friends. No, not selling, but trade his torta. And he asked his grandma, "Hey, abuelita."
Damn, bro.
Like, because he was already, it's like, yeah, to him, he had it every day, but other kids didn't have that good of a torta. And he told me what the secret ingredient is. And so he goes and asks his abuelita, "Hey, abuelita, what is it that you put in the torta that is so good? And my friends, they just love it. They want to eat my torta." It's like, es el amor que le pongo a tu torta. And then he says that when she was making that torta, when she makes him the torta, he remembers this. Like he would put that bread on top and then she would hold it. And it's like putting the love in the torta.
Yeah.
So you getting no love in this McDonald's.
Oh no love.
They're not kissing the bun and
No, dude, I'm telling you, man. I want like a perfectly, geometrical burger. No, like the way they give it to me, the patties over here, the bottom patties
No,
over there, the freaking pickles, they're all cockeyed, and you know what I'm saying? It's not as nice.
No, dude, you didn't go to the McDonald's that I worked because unless you were flirting with my girlfriends or somebody else's girlfriends, that you do not, right? But you just don't mess with other people's women because then you don't know what you're going to
Oh, you
get.
had a girlfriend at McDonald's or what?
I'm a man of many relations.
Don't say this on camera, man.
See, that's the problem with me that I'm always getting in trouble with Sarah. I just say what's in my mind. I don't really think about it. And I didn't realize this.
Hey, me too, man. I get in the same issue.
Yeah, and we were watching that show with Sanfield, and he's like, "Yeah, I always get in trouble because I just speak my mind," and and then his wife's like, "What? I'm the same way."
Oh.
So I'm like, "God damn it, I should have learned this."
Yeah, I know, man. You gotta watch what you say around the señoritas. You know what I'm saying? They get mad.
Especialmente la señora, yeah, la mujer, oh man. So we're gonna have to cut this out.
Oh, yeah.
No.
He has to switch the camera. All right.